bottom line is, if you're not into baby steps, it's not going to work. The same way that the waxing crescent takes a whole cycle to reach its fullness, it's the same for us, bestie. And every day, little by little, there's a ton of things happening. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Graciela Moore. I am an ICF certified personal coach, and I wrote Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. This agenda allows you to plan ahead every single week to follow the moon, to follow your cycle, create abundantly. It has affirmations weekly, and then for every full moon and new moon, you get journaling promptings and an affirmation to ground it all together. So if you're into moon journaling or just moon rituals in general, this one's for you. It is Monday, January 19, 2026, and I just have to say it. If you're in Minnesota or you know anyone there, I am proud of you. I hope that you're safe, and my heart goes out to you. There is so much going on with the astrology. Everything is moving into Aquarius. The sun is going to be in Aquarius by Wednesday. So happy birthday if you are an Aquarian. But the thing about Aquarius is that, dun dun dun, ever since Pluto moved into Aquarius, it has been digging a lot and rocking the boat. I can hear Proud Mary. So I said to myself, sit down, you're rocking the boat. I wonder how we're gonna keep the peace, but I digress. Let's get to this week. We're beginning the week with a waxing crescent in Aquarius, and waxing crescent is really about getting to master the emotions that are coming up as the moon gets filled with light and we get flooded with information, or we get flooded with news, or we get flooded with just the overwhelmingly day to day life in general. And so, waxing crescent is really about that self care that allows us to show up every day. And I don't know how you've been feeling, but I feel like 2026 for me, as a Taurus with a moon in Cancer, now stepping into the year of the horse, 2026, in the Chinese New Year, which is not until February. So we're not going to talk about that yet, but it is going to be the year of the horse. I can feel in my pores and in my veins how self care is at the top of my list this year, to really nail down the habits that I am willing and able to put together every day. It is difficult to keep a routine day to day, especially if I'm already focusing so hard on my child's routine and his school and his appointments and music class and here and play dates in the park and all this. And I know it's winter, but spring is coming, summer is coming, and all of those things can be planned ahead, and they are being planned ahead, trust me. And so I do know that it is at the top of my list. And what I wanted to really settle on by the end of last week was the routine that I'm doing every morning and every evening before bed. And I know that sounds incredibly petty. There's so many more important things going on than my self care routine. My point is that I'm keeping it small to use it as an example. How you can apply these ideas into your own life, because Aquarius is for the people. It wants that community, it wants the group, it wants to be included, it yearns for that, not equality per se, but definitely fairness. It is very concerned with the all of it all. And so now that the sun, right here, now that the sun is going to move from Capricorn to Aquarius, and a few other planets are going to follow suit. Venus is already in Aquarius as of today. The sun is going to be in Aquarius by Wednesday, and then Mercury is going to join the mix by Thursday, which means how are we going to put the things that are coming up for us emotionally on this waxing crescent, emotionally, ideally, and just in general, Venus in Pluto? I'm thinking about how we might be being stirred up in the core of it all, what we stand for, what we believe in, what we hope for, what we want to achieve, what we want for our country, what we want for each other, what we want for our families, what we want for ourselves. All of this is being stirred up right now. And I feel like Mercury joining the mix is only going to either make it better in terms of allowing us to really be able to put into words what we've been wanting to say, or it's going to make it worse because we're going to fumble with our words and hopefully not stumble. And then once the moon moves into Aries, see, I'm talking about the planets. I haven't even talked about the moon yet because once the sun moves into Aquarius on Wednesday, the moon is going to move into Pisces. And Pisces, that's the end of the cycle for the moon cycle, right? It's the end of the zodiac. It's the last sign of the zodiac, right? And so it represents the end of one lunar cycle. Yet the sun is moving into Aquarius, which is a beginning. I just love how it works that way. There is no choice. It's almost like there is no choice. It's almost like the sun and the moon are telling me there is no choice but to end something and to start something new. Once it's done, it is recreated. I am just very hopeful. Hope is the thing, right? Hope is the thing that they will try to take away. But the one thing we have to hold on to as an idea once everything else has been torn apart, right? So this week sounds very interesting, but at the same time, watch what you consume. If the moon is growing, and so is our emotional concern or our emotional awareness about situations that are transpiring in the current time, then how are we addressing those emotions? How are you taking care of yourself? Think of it this way. We are extremely concerned with the whole right now, not just the system that is rippling down into the streets, but also the community at large. But your home and your children are the community that you can influence the most, the closest, your family and your friends, whoever you're watching, however old you are, your closest people. That's a community. It's Don't think of it as my community is the establishment that I go to, aka church, or my community is the people that I hang out with from work that are at happy hour, then those are my people. My community is definitely my people who are all about equality and fairness and the moon and the zodiac. And if you let me vent and if you let me talk about my special interests and then I let you talk about your special interest, then those are my people, but also the people within this roof. And the same for you, because the most important thing, honestly, I don't know if it's age or if it's circumstance or if it's really just taken me this long to really, really, really realize that I cannot take care of anything within these walls if I am not taking care of myself. We will not arrive in time. We will not arrive in a good state of mind. We will not perform well. We will be chaotic if I am poorly fed, poorly rested, poorly hydrated, overstimulated, usually with my hair, which is why I keep it away from my face. because it tickles. And so that's why this year that's at the top of my list. But at the top of your list, there may be some activism. And if there is, find the most responsible way to do it. At the top of your list, there may be some traveling or some money manifesting or some love manifesting. I don't know, whatever is at the top of your list. I do know that our friend Luis Aguilera just adopted a sourdough starter. So kudos to Luis. Congratulations. Now you have a baby. I think its name is Lydia. So that's cool that you have a sourdough starter. Anyway, by Sunday, the moon is going to be in Taurus. So, talk about Sunday scaries. When the moon is in Taurus, we tend to feel like taking a nap. So, the moon is shifting into Taurus by 6 p.m. I'm thinking we're all going to be in bed early and then hopefully start next week bright and early on the 26th with that first quarter in Taurus. When the moon, ignore the fact that it ran out of battery, I'll put more batteries on it. When the moon is halfway, that's decision time a lot of the times. That is a point in the cycle where there might be a crossroads. And Mars is also getting into the mix this week with Aquarius, which means there's not just conversations happening thanks to Mercury and a lot of thoughts being put into words and being reasoned through, but there might be conversation, actions, and hopefully everyone is safe. Now, taking care of yourself can be daunting if you have no idea where to start. I can only speak for myself, so I will tell you what I do aside from my little morning routine that I've been doing for my face and then my nighttime routine. Let's not forget about our loving Brain FM. You can find the link for your membership in the bio and in the description. When I'm doing things in the kitchen, I like to put focus, and then here are your options. Deep work, which is for demanding tasks that require sustained periods of intense focus. That's the one I like to do when I'm writing. Motivation, creativity, learning, and light work. That's the one I like to use for house chores. Whatever it is that you're doing, Brain FM will play music for your brain to be able to get into the zone. Just just try it because I've been using Brain FM for 4 years and I'm never going back. When I fall asleep with the headphones on sleep mode, I sleep the deepest. So take a look at Brain FM. If you want to take care of yourself, why not start with your brain? And hopefully the rest will follow. Anyway, that's the end of the week. We just had a new moon in Capricorn, so let me show you my little painting before we wrap this up. It's actually not a painting at all. I cheated. I put stickers. She's dancing with her black cats. There's the little snails on the mushrooms, more mushrooms over here. She might have planted a little spell jar. I don't know. I do know that it's on the ground. Here's a little speech bubble with a heart and then hearts on the clouds. I love it so much. And then the new moon with the sun and the shadow is just so cute. These are all just stickers that I found on Amazon and I keep them around because, as you know, I homeschool, so there's always stickers around. Let's look at the journal promptings for that new moon and then take a look at the affirmation for today so we can have the best week ever. Where in my life do I crave more structure? And what small sacred commitments can help me build it? What dream deserves the steadiness of my effort, not just my inspiration? Now let's get to today's affirmation. As the crescent climbs into intentional air, I awaken to new thought and daring vision. By starlight and intentions spark, I call forth the future and become its maker. And so it is. As always, don't forget to journal and to drink your water. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any particular interest in your own personal birth chart. Get to know where all the planets were the day you were born. We can do it together with astroseek.com. Don't forget Brain FM. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you next time.